Alrighty boys, welcome back to another step-by-step video. Now today's video is going to be on Ace. Now the first thing that I wanted to talk about today, guys, is actually like a little hidden gunfight tech that you guys can do to get yourself potential free kills. However, there's a couple caveats that I need to talk about with this tech when you are going to be doing it and when you shouldn't do it. Now, the important thing to understand with this one is that you need to do it when people are either playing behind a shield or they're playing on a pixel angle. That's when you need to do it, basically. It's pretty much like any of those positions where it's like unwinnable, basically, for you to like directly challenge someone. So a good example is going to be Oregon when there's a warden behind the shield on elbow. That's a very unwinnable gunfight in most cases for most players. Now the way you do this tech is the idea is that you have to wait for the warden to be behind the shield or on a pixel angle, and then you sprint past the angle so he doesn't have time to react to you, and then you come back into an angle from the other side. You need a piece of cover to run to, by the way. That's also very important. You need some kind of piece of cover to run to, or if there's like a doorway, you need to run to the other side of the doorway cover, and then you're gonna be basically swinging back with the expectation of the warden or whoever is on the pixel angle to basically swing wide to try to kill you is the idea. So you're essentially baiting them into swinging into you so that way you can swing into them, and that's how you're going to be using that tech to get free kills. Now the reason why I wanted to bring this up today is because I actually learned this from Mr. Raid Bullies actually a really long time ago, and I never made a video about it, but I figured I should at least bring it up because a lot of people don't know about that like little tech that you guys can do. And I do feel like it does help for those positions where you just like get stuck, you know what I mean, and you need to make a play from like nothing. I feel like it happens quite often where people get stuck in a lot of positions, and usually what happens, the reason why people get stuck in positions is because they don't really know the next step of their push is usually the idea. So whatever little niche like gunfight techs that you guys can learn will help you guys get better overall, and the more you know about this game, the better off you'll play. You know, the more confident you'll play, the more smooth you'll play, the more better your pushes will become. It's just all about the accumulation of game knowledge. Now, one thing I actually wanted to bring up actually on the subject of accumulation of game knowledge is I notice a lot of people will take breaks from this game, and if you're like a returning player, you might think you're washed right now or whatever, but the thing you got to understand is that from right now to way back in the day, like season 1, like rank 1.0 days, like there is a big difference in the base knowledge of how people play this game now. Like there's a very higher ceiling when it comes to people's game sense and how they play the game. So if you're coming back and you were once like one of those players where you just run around and you just get kills, and you suddenly took like a 2-year break and then you come back and everybody all of a sudden is just like dumpstering you, the reason for that is most likely because you're just lacking in the game sense department. So the thing for you to return to your like good days, in my opinion, because in my opinion it's not about like getting older or anything like that, like your reaction time is worse now or anything like that. It's about how you play the game that leads to you getting your kills, like droning, setting up the pushes. Like right here we're doing a cafe push. I opened the small bake wall to bakery to make sure nobody can play inside a bakery. Then I took bakery with my team. I killed one guy riding inside a kitchen, proning, thinking that he was safe. Then I walked up through prep in the brief opportunity that I had to kill Doc on prep window, and then I just assumed that somebody was going to be in the closet, so I looked towards the closet, got another kill there after he kills my teammate, and then now we're in a nice 1v1 position with this castle now, and this is all a setup play by me. I'm going to fake plant, he's going to swing out to me because I know he's on the double door because my teammates are pinging him, and then we're going to go ahead and swing aggressively because he got caught in my bait, and I'm going to get myself a very easy kill onto him, and there's nothing special about that, you know what I mean? It's not like rocket science or anything like that. It's not like, oh, I just like outgunned him or anything like that. It's because I outplayed him completely. Game sense wise, absolutely outplayed. And the thing I really want to stress to you guys is I don't consider myself to be like a Spoit or like a Bolo or like a Stompin or anything like that. I consider myself to just be a regular player, you know what I mean? Like everything that I can do is something that you guys can do, you know what I mean? And that's how I like to format my videos, is that every single play that I make is something that you guys can do as well, you know what I mean? Like all of these operators that I play, you could do the exact same thing as me. And that's kind of the thing about this game, is that like the more game knowledge you build up over time, the better you'll start seeing yourself play, the more plays you'll see that can happen to get yourself potential free kills, like even this one, for example, like just checking the whole doorway instead of just checking for the hallway, and that's it, and walking away, and you'll catch a Goyle just ratting in a corner after he kills my Ash for the refrag. This round's a bit more chaotic. Unfortunately, my Thatcher dies over by IT side, but the idea was to open IT, open up Pillar, and get a plant for default. However, since my Thatcher pushed up through IT, I'm not able to do that anymore, so I'm going to have to just walk up through Electrical. I killed Cade on the walk-in, and I also killed Bandit on the swing for Electrical here, and then I'm just going to go ahead and run in aggressively here. Now, this might not be the best play in the world here, but we do end up successfully getting into Pillar here, and then now it's just a nice 1v1 position with Malusi here after we swing with our pistol to kill the Fender inside of command. They were both playing very passively, which is the reason why I'm able to open up that space in the first place to get to Pillar. Once we're on Pillar, we're just listening to a little bit of audio. We start reloading our guns. As long as he's not pushing up on us, it's just one of those standard positions where we're going to fake plant, we're going to listen for audio. Now, the nice thing about having a diffuser in hand whenever you are playing Ace is that you always will have these plays in the back of your head whenever you're doing a 1v1 position, where like if you're in one of those positions where you need to get the last kill but you have nobody to cover you, your best bet is most likely going to be the fake plant. Now, typically people in lower lobbies are going to run at you like right away as you stick the plant. However, in a higher champion lobbies, you're going to have to stick like pretty much like almost full bar and then get off just before you like finish to basically kill like actual champ players, because a lot of champ players will wait till you're about to like fully commit before like actually running into you, you know what I mean, to like try to kill you. And a lot of them will try to like sound bait you off rip depending on how comp they are. A lot of them will try to sound bait you to try to get you off the stick, so you just got to figure out what kind of player you're dealing with, and it's okay to do multiple tries. I'll try to get a clip where I get one of those players on me that is going to sound bait me like crazy, and try to show you guys what I mean by that in a future video. Those players are very tricky to deal with, because what will end up happening is that a lot of the times that there's like a minute left, or maybe there's like 2 minutes left, or minute 30, or 45 seconds left. It really all just depends on how much time you have left, how long you can actually like juggle the diffuse stick and getting off to the plant to like try to swing, to try to bait them in. And it just depends on like how weird the enemy player is, you know what I mean? You're just gonna have to figure out what kind of player it is. And then the idea is for the players that like always try to just sound bait you to get off the plant, those type of players are gonna basically be essentially sticking till like last second. However, like usually the players that like run at you right away are going to usually be like the lower elo players. Those players usually can like stick like halfway and then get off and then swing aggressively, like how I do with like the castle from earlier, or the again with the pillar round I stuck halfway through and then the Malusi just swung right into me right away. No sound bait, no nothing like that, and I was able to get myself a very easy kill, you know what I mean? So it really just depends on what kind of player you're dealing with, and I apologize that I'm not able to show you guys like an actual clip where I showcase that. I'll try my best to showcase what I mean by that in a future video, but right here we're going to go ahead and be pushing through Oil Pit here in this next clip with Ace here. Now honestly, typically on this map I'll play Habana. However, since one of my teammates already grabbed Habana, I actually opted to open up Stock Hatch, and the reason why I did that was to open up a little bit of space for Blue. I walked through Oil Pit to walk into Sight through Mannequin to kill Castle on AKs, and then we swung aggressively underneath the hatch to get Castle, and then as we stick the plant we're going to go ahead and kill Thorn as well in the hopes that my Habana would cover. Unfortunately, my Habana died to somebody in Blue who also ends up killing me after I end up killing the Thorn, and then luckily my teammate is going to save the day and kill the last guy on the refrag, and we're going to go ahead and secure the round. On that specific map I don't really recommend playing Ace. However, Ace could be a valid option for maybe opening up Blue Hatch, maybe open up Dirt, and then have some kind of like pincer maneuver for back Arsenal. Now next up in this clip we're going to be actually using Ace on Oregon. This is probably one of my preferred operators for Oregon. I do think in a weird world that Thermite is better for this map. However, the one thing I will say is that Ace is going to give you more flexibility when it comes to getting kills on this map, and I always start out my master push by getting claymores out on the runouts over by small tower side. I go on the upside down rappel for master balcony, I shoot open the doorway, and then I peek over towards trophy. The reason why I do this is because typically if they have attic head holes, somebody's going to swing you from either trophy or attic head holes. You can usually net yourself a very easy kill like how I did for the wall my, and then we're going to go ahead and try to open up the main wall here, which is what we do. And the idea here is that I go once again back on the main upside down rappel for Master here, and we're going to hold across for Attic and Trophy here. Now, the idea here that I'm looking for, and the reason why I played upside down Repel, is because we're waiting to open up the wall here. We're going to be checking to see if anybody tries to hop through the breach. If anybody hops through the breach, it'll be a very easy kill with the upside down Repel. Some people like to also peek from the kid's doorway to look through the breach if my team hasn't taken for Trophy yet. And you're going to see here that somebody did actually jump over the white head holes and then also swung the breach. Unfortunately, I wasn't looking at it, so I wasn't able to get the free kill. However, what's going to end up happening here is that since my teammates are now on main, they're basically pushing into Trophy here, I'm going to go ahead and walk in now, and I'm going to go ahead and play more aggressively for the breacher. I always look towards white head holes first. You're going to see here Jaeger is going to go ahead and swing at me aggressively. I'm going to get a nice kill on him. I'm going to crouch mid gunfight, get myself an easy kill on him, and then we're going to go ahead and take this opportunity to swing the Attic head holes and kill a Doc inside of Attic through the head holes that he was rotating through. The kids rotate, and we got ourselves another free pick right there. Now we're in a nice 3v2 position. One guy actually hit a Nomad for flank in this position, and he tries to nitro me for Master here, but I'm going to go ahead and run into kids because one of my other teammates kills Legion, which means that sight is free, which means Mute's on the roam in this position, which means that we can go ahead and just take sight, hit a plant inside of kids here, and then the last guy is going to be Mute. He's going to end up actually rotating towards white. One of my other teammates is actually going to end up killing him in this position, and we're going to go ahead and secure the round right there. But anyway, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed today's step-by-step video for Ace. Please make sure to like and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace!